Hello, Facebook and Insta if you've joined from Insta. I'm just going to share this video and then we will jump into a process for getting clear before heading into 2018. Beautiful. And I'll wait for a few people to jump on. So for those of you joining on the replay, hello. If you have any questions after we do this process together, you can leave a comment, you can send me a message. I just wanted to offer a few ideas for what I'll be doing, what I have been doing to let go intentionally of 2017, whatever kind of year that's been for you. I know it's been a big one for me, and consciously think about what I want to take with me into 2018 and what I'm ready to let go of, and a really nice way of doing that. And it's one thing to kind of set these New Year's resolutions or goals or intentions for the new year, but without anchoring ourselves to them and without actually thinking about the ways that we will bring those intentions to life, what we see kind of happening is that, you know, a few weeks in, a few months in, these ideas kind of fall away, we forget, old patterns take over, and before we know it, we're at the end of that year, coming into the next year, and we think about, you know, what our intentions were and realize that we just kind of lived much the same, apart from whatever the universe presented to us. So this is a really nice way of consciously avoiding that, if we can, and living with more intention and purpose. So I call this process, I have called this process the New Year Becoming. So the first thing that you are going to want to do before you move into a space of this conscious creating in your mind and intention setting is to clear the physical space around you. So there is no difference between our internal environment and our external environment. Whatever we're feeling on the inside and experiencing on the inside, we're going to see manifest in the world around us. So a really nice way to kind of reverse engineer this, if we're wanting to create a space of inner clarity and clutter-free, you know, a clutter-free environment inside us, it's great firstly to clear the space around us. So don't try and do this process, you know, sitting in your toddler's room surrounded by Lego, you know, unless that particularly feels like a calm, clear space for you. Spend a little bit of time, spend 5 minutes creating a space, a beautiful space that you can really take some time to dive into yourself without the distractions of washing to be folded or you know, feeling like you have a million things that you should be doing. So creating a clear space around you is step one. You might like to light a candle, you might like to sit on a beautiful pillow, you might like to burn some essential oils, diffuse some essential oils, have some crystals around, you know, whatever it is. You might like to do this at the beach if that's a place where you feel really clear, or, you know, find a beautiful place in nature where you can do this process. So that's step one. And then step two would really be, we want to be connecting into ourselves. We don't want to be doing this while we're feeling distracted and flighty and in our heads. So we really want to get into our body. So before doing this process, it might be a great idea to practice some yoga, go for a walk, go for a run, even just do some basic stretching or twisting of your body, and feel into your body, feel into your hands, feel into your feet, notice your breath, really consciously in your mind feel like you are dropping into your body, you know, taking up space in your own body. And then we want to, before we're wanting to create new things, we want to be doing that from a calm and centered place within us. So clearing your energy, is super, super important. Clearing your energy field, making sure we're not carrying anyone else's ideas, anyone else's expectations. So I'd like to share with you guys, and we'll go through it together, just a really simple process for clearing your energy using visualizing sunlight. So I'm going to do this one with you. So close down your eyes, relax your shoulders away from your ears, let your hands be heavy. Feel long through your spine, feel long through the back of your neck, and then take a full breath in through your nose and a full breath out through your mouth. And just take one more like this, breathing in through the nose, breathing out through the mouth. And then I'd like you to picture, visualize in your mind a stream of beautiful sunlight, nice and simple. And it's just going to come pouring in through where your crown chakra is, or if you're not familiar with chakras, just through the top of your head. So imagine that sunlight is pouring in literally to the top of your skull. Feel the warmth on the top of your head. Really try and imagine that is happening. Keep your breath flowing in and out, relax your belly, keep your shoulders soft. Take a full breath in and imagine that sunlight is now starting to pour and stream down through your skull, through your eyes, through your nose, through your mouth, through the back of your head, the back of your neck, and starting to expand down all the way through all of the 7 chakras, through your heart, your solar plexus, sacral chakra, root chakra, and down through your seat into the earth. So we've got this stream of sunlight coming all the way through your body, breathing in and out, nice and simple. Exhaling. And then take one more breath and imagine that this sunlight is coming from your midline and expanding out into your limbs. So you're literally filling with pure, clean light. The sun is extremely cleansing. Clearing away any energy that's not yours. Being calm, being clear, so we can create from a space that is truly our heart intention, without anything else that we might be carrying. So that's a super simple process that you can do anytime to clear your energy. You can open your eyes now. So I really recommend clearing your energy before you start to set intentions for the new year. And then take a moment to really commit to presence. So turning off your phone, setting it to airplane mode, doing this at a time where you're not likely to be interrupted, so that you can really be here and allow yourself to dive as deep as you may want to go at that time. And then let's take a moment to bring a bit of intention to this process, a little bit of a sacred feel. So whatever that is for you, whether you love candles or crystals, I love and use essential oils, so that's my little kind of tap-in tool. And the oils that I'm going to use for this process, I have doTERRA's Peace Blend rubbed into the soles of my feet right now. It takes 30 seconds to reach your bloodstream and fully circulate through your entire limbic system and every cell. So that's a beautiful one. This one is very reassuring. And then the other oils that I'm using, always, whenever I'm trying to let go of the past and be present, I use frankincense, doTERRA's frankincense. Super powerful for resetting every cell, cellular memory, really great for clearing away the past and intention setting. And then I've got doTERRA's Beautiful Blend and Hope Blend, which I'm using. They've got really kind of feminine feel to them, soft, you know, but you can use whatever you've got, whatever your pull towards. Crystals are great, angel cards are great, just something to help you feel like you're tapped into the divine, because that's where we really want to be, creating from a place of heart and not so much of head. So whatever's going to bring you into your heart space. But oils are a nice, easy suggestion that you can use anywhere. And then the process that I'm going to take you through, there are two parts of it. So there's the feelings, how we want to feel moving into the new year, and then there's the outcomes. So the outcomes, then they're not separate. So the feelings are what we want to be experiencing in the day-to-day, and the outcomes for those feelings could be very variable. We could feel those feelings in a number of different ways. But we can get specific if there's outcomes that we want to see manifest in our outer world that are derived from those feelings. So we're going to spend a bit of time coming up with both. So if you haven't already, grab yourself some water or a tea, grab yourself a notebook where you can take a few notes as we go through. So the first question that I want to ask you, so just write down, without your mind coming into it, just words that come into mind, a bit of a mind map, a bit of a jumble. What is this next year about for you? What is this next year about for you? So there might be something instantly that drops into your mind that's like, yeah, I know what this next year is about. Or if you're feeling a little bit unclear, I've got some suggested kind of signposts that you might like to get more specific with. So is this next year about health for you? Is that something that you're really feeling that, it's time to focus on health? Maybe you've got something going on, maybe, your physical body isn't kind of reflecting what you feel what you'd like your internal state to be. So is your focus for next year, or it could be one of the focuses that you have, is it on health? Is it on nurturing and self-care? If you've had a pretty rough year this year, if there's been trauma, if there's been heartache, if there's been loss, it might be really nice to move into next year with the intention of nurturing self-love, self-care, really getting back to filling up your own cup. And if your grief has been particularly big, it might just be giving yourself tools to be able to get through the day or the year. And then that's obviously going to expand on to have lots of other beautiful effects. This year might be about simplifying. Maybe you're feeling really scattered or overwhelmed, and this year is about stripping back and simplifying, focusing on, some key things that are important and letting go of anything else that is clutter and energy draining. This year might be about expanding. So that could be expanding your energy, that could be expanding your resources, that could be expanding your home, that could be expanding your family, expansion and wanting to kind of crack yourself open and shine yourself out. This year might be about abundance in every level, every way, not just financial abundance, but including financial abundance. This year could be about love. So that could be relationships, romantic, or it could be self-love, or it could be love for the earth. It could be just being more loving in your actions. That could be one of your focuses. Or it could be about freedom, whatever that means for you. Time freedom, financial freedom, freedom to express, freedom to create, freedom from old traumas and beliefs, So there's just some ideas. So that's step one. I'd really love for you to write down one or a few keywords. What is this next year about for you? Don't overthink it, just write something down. So once you've done that, we're now going to move into a 3-monthly breakup. So this 3-monthly breakup, because I find that having one intention for the whole year is great, but it's often, more effective for goals generally if we can break them down a little bit and give us a more specific focus for that particular time. And I'm going to share with you what my monthly focus for each of those, 3-month periods is, so that it gives you an idea of how you might create your own. So I'll show you what I've done. I've just, super simple, it's nothing glamorous. Written a little table with 1, 2, 3, 4, because if you break up the year into 3 monthly periods, then there'll be 4 of them. So we're going to have one word that encapsulates that period, and just go with your intuition. Just go with what drops into your mind. This can change. You know, if you find that you're getting into the year and it's not feeling right anymore, or if the universe throws you a curveball, you know, this can always be adapted. So we're going to start with 4 words. So this is an encompassing word. This is something that you can write on your mirror. This is something you can write on your whiteboard. This is something that we're going to use to develop 4 statements for the year. Statements or affirmations or mantras for in your head, something to really make it more tangible. So to give a bit more kind of context and clarity around this, for my January, February, March period, my word, or I've actually kind of cheated and had a few words, is inner light embody. So that's what I really feel pulled to do in this next period, straight after the new year. Inner light embody. And I'll talk a little bit more about what that means to me. But yeah, just to give you an idea. My second period, which is April, May, June, is magnetic. So that's my word for that period. For July, August and September, my word is expand. And for October, November and December, my word is soften. So these are the words that are going to kind of drive my actions, drive my intentions, drive my habits and all of that kind of thing for those periods. So once you have your 4 keywords for next year, which will be linked into what is this next year about for you, derive 4 words from that really speak to your heart. And then the next thing that you're going to do is create 4 heart statements. So these heart statements, you know, otherwise known as affirmations, but I call them heart statements, calling them heart statements. So you want to just have 4 sentences, and these things are going to be your daily reminders for tapping back into this feeling of your intention of where you want to drive this year as it goes on. So my first heart statement is, and this is related to my word in, I think I just dropped out for a second, inner light embody. My first heart statement is, I nurture and grow my inner light with every choice, moment by moment. I embody my highest self. So this is going to be my affirmation. I'm going to write it on my mirror. I'm going to write it on my... Sorry, my mum's trying to call as we do this. And if I put it on airplane, then I won't be able to talk to you. So I'm going to write this around the place so that I'm reminded of what my intention is. My second heart statement, which is related to my word magnetic for the second period, is I am magnetic to all my heart desires. So everything that my heart desires, I am like a magnet for that. My third heart statement, which relates to the word expand, is I expand my inner light to every being, space and time I give openly from love. And then my fourth heart statement, which is related to the word soften, super simple, I soften into my heart intention and intuition. So there are my 4 heart statements, which are going to guide my outcomes for the year. So this is all the feeling. This is the feeling that we are wanting to feel. These are the feelings that I'm wanting to feel as I go into this next year. Then we're going to get a little bit more specific. So as you can see, I've kind of created a section for each of these 4 periods. So the first one, which is mine, nurture, inner light, and embody. So in this period, the things that I'm going to be focusing on, so, you know, what kind of things could I do? This is what I asked myself, what kind of things could I do to start to nurture and embody this inner light and the highest version of myself? So for me, that looks like, you know, being selective with my food or eating intuitively, movement, the environment around me, having rituals, energy cleansing, constant energy cleansing so that I can truly just be my own light, ruthless intuition, unapologetic, intentional living and confidence. So that's for the first section. These are just to give you guys some ideas as you're going through and doing yours. For the second section, which my keyword was magnetic, this is going to be my creative period. So this is going to be the 3 months in the year where I'm going to be creating new projects. I'm going to be working on just being creative. So I might be doing art, I might be doing journaling, I might be making music. I'm planning to do some singing lessons in that time. Something to tap into that creative energy, because creativity is magnetic. So embodying receiving energy, being feminine, opening, allowing and creating. In my third period, my keyword was expand. And this is going to be, so expanding out from within. This is going to be my 3 months of delivering. So serving, offering what I have created, offering my ideas, offering my support, offering my solutions for the things that I care about. So this is all about throat chakra, expression, voice, offering, inviting, sharing, soaring. They're kind of my tasks, if you like, for this period. And then the last period, October, November, December, my word was soften. So this is all about being held by everything around you, being supported, resting, restoring, being feminine, reflection, intention, and nurturing, and just allowing yourself to enjoy. So that's going to be what's driving that period of this year for me. So that's basically it. That's the process that you go through to give, yourself some clarity around what do you want this next year to be and how are you going to get there. So the things that you want to be thinking about to bring this into day-to-day life, because it's one thing to set a goal, I'm going to get fit next year. That's my goal. But without breaking that down into consistent daily steps, it isn't going to happen. Your day-to-day life, what happens every moment, day to day, is what creates your reality. So if you're not changing these little habits, your bigger picture isn't going to change either. So the things that you want to be thinking about, music, routines, daily habits, the food you're eating, I use essential oils, whatever kind of sacred tools you like, images to surround yourself with, what environment are you putting yourself in, statements or affirmations that you can tell yourself, and even what clothing you're wearing. So to make that, give a bit more context to that, the clothing that I'm wearing. So in the first part of the year, I'm wanting to focus on nurturing my inner light and embodying my highest self. So when I'm getting dressed every day, what we wear is a powerful expression of ourselves. So is the clothing that I'm wearing matching the feeling that I want to create? If I'm wanting to nurture my inner light, am I going to be dressing in black? Or is black something that's more tailored towards, power and drive and masculine? Maybe it's better to be dressing in floaty, soft, cool fabrics, lighter colors, that kind of thing. What kind of music am I listening to? If I'm wanting to nurture my inner light and embody my highest self, the music, the books I'm reading, the smells I'm smelling, the images that are around me, creating a vision board, the movies that I'm watching, is that linking in to what I'm wanting this period to be all about? In my third period where I'm wanting to expand and deliver, the food that I'm eating, I'm going to need a lot of energy for that period because I'm going to be pouring out so much. So what kind of food is going to suit that? It'll likely be a bit different to the food that I'll want to eat towards the end of the year when I'm wanting to soften. I probably want to eat more warming and, foods. Whereas in that period where I really want to give out and pour out, I might need a bit more caffeine. I might need a few more calories. I might need some more raw food in my diet, So letting these things. So I'm going to post this up after you guys, so you don't need to remember all this or write all this down. So it'll be a nice, easy process. I recommend setting aside about half an hour to map this out for yourself for next year. So it's not a lot of time. And this period in between Christmas and the new year is kind of this in-between time. So it feels like the end of the year, but we're not quite into the new year. It's like this luminous in-between doorway, which is super, super, super powerful for intention setting. So, and most people are on holidays of some kind. We've got a little bit more time. So mapping out half an hour to do this you know, is something that most people could probably find the time to do, and it's a really powerful time of year to do it before heading into 2018. So there you go, that's my suggestions for getting ready for the new year with clarity and moving forward from heart intention, but also thinking tangibly about the day-to-day. So you can write this down, you can create a vision board. You know, it's great to get a whiteboard to write, kind of map up the year that you want to do. Whatever is going to be able to be a constant reminder for you. You can set reminders on your phone. Something I'm going to do, my heart statements, which we talked about at the start of this video. If you missed the start, go back and watch the start. After it's finished, you can watch the replay. My heart statements, I'm going to set as reminders in my phone that pop up each morning when I wake up, so that I'm reminded of, okay, my heart intention right now is I nurture and grow my inner light with every choice, moment by moment, I embody my highest self. You know, if we're not reminding ourselves of these things, we're going to forget. We're going to fall back into old patterns, and we're not going to be moving ourselves forward towards these things that we were wanting to create. So this is a way to make those New Year's resolutions actually happen, and to give some kind of tangible steps that are anchored within our heart. So I hope this helps you guys. I will post this up. I'll pop it in where the blurb is for this video after, so that you can follow through this process. It's not complicated, it doesn't take a lot of time, and the results, when we live from intention rather than just from habit, are really powerful. So I wish you a very happy new year, happy intention setting, and I will speak to you soon.